What is up, guys? Kyle here from Team Krillin, and we got a Fluffal deck profile from Tristan. He just topped our locals. Wasn't a very big locals, like 20 people. But so yeah, let's get right into it.
Alright, what's up, guys? This is my Fluffal deck profile that I used to top with at my locals this past Sunday. There was 4 rounds in the locals. The first match was against Cosmo. I 2-0'd Cosmos because Sheep is a badass. Second match was Satellers, which I 2-1'd. The third match was Buster Blader, surprisingly. And I barely won. That was a 2-1 game. And for the finals, it was against my buddy Hunter, who was using Pepe. And that was a good duel. That was also 2-1. But, you know, in the end, it all worked out. So we've got 3 Fluffal Stratos. Because, you know, Elemental Hero Stratos. Card's too good, can't be in the game, but we've got Fluffal Doge right here. We've got 3 Fluffal Mouse. Just acts as more fusion targets. He can summon up to 2 copies of himself from the deck on the turn he is summoned. Got 3 Fluffal Bear to search out the toy vendors, because that card is really relevant in the deck, and it should not be run at less than 3. And we've got 2 Wings. Likes to chain with Bear a lot. A lot of the times I'll pitch Bear to set the toy vendor, and then send the Fluffal Wings with the toy vendor to get like 5 million draws, 2 searches, bunch of nonsense. And we've got 2 Fluffal Sheep. I like this card because it makes it so that your polymerizations are always live. Because if you control another Fluffal monster, you can special summon this card, bounce a Fluffal monster, so it recycles your dog, or anything that you really need at the time, and then special summons an Edgem from the hand or the graveyard, making polymerization live and not having to use the Fright for Fusion right then. I run, for the 1-ofs, 1 Fluffal Owl and 1 Fluffal Cat. Fluffal Owl to search for the poly and to act as his own poly. Fluffal Cat to grab polys from grave when he is used as a fusion material. And that's it for the Fluffals. Now for the Edgemps, I run 3 Chain. Really good card. It chains with Fluffal Dog, so you can make easy rank 4s. When he declares an attack, he can search for another copy of himself, and his best effect is when he touches the grave from the field or from the hand. When he's sent to the grave, you can search for 1 Fright for card and add it from your deck to your hand. So a lot of the times that will probably be Fright for Fusion, but you can search out Fright for Factory or Fright for March with it. Then I run 2 Edgem Sabers. I don't feel there's an explanation needed for this. He's been the main card in the deck since New Challengers, since the deck came out. That's all for the Edgemps. And for the last of the monsters, I run 3 King of the Swamp. This card adds a lot of consistency to the deck. You can send it from hand to grave to search a poly from your deck and add it to your hand. And he can be used as 1 material for a fusion summon, but that material has to be the exact name. So he can be used as the Edgemps for a lot of the Fright for Fusion monsters, which makes him a really good card, great for consistency in OTKs. Now for spells, I run 3 Toy Pot. I like Toy Pot. I used to not. I used to think it was stupid before Cross Souls came out, but after all the support came out, this card was needed because it just helped the deck stay consistent in their OTKs. So I feel that it should be run at 3. I don't think there's another way to run it. Like, it's just there. It's for consistency. Then I run 3 Polymerization, because poly, no explanation really needed there. Goes into your fusion summons. 2 Fright for Fusion, the Miracle Fusion of the deck. Banish cards listed on the fusion card to fusion summon that. 2 Dark Fusion, because you want to make sure that your fusion monsters are safe the turn they are summoned. So if you summon your Fright for Tiger, you want to make sure that they cannot bottomless it. So you fusion summon with this, because it makes it so your monster cannot be targeted by spell, trap, or monster effects that turn. Or, your opponent's spell, trap, or monster effects that turn. And then I run 2 MSTs. Good for the back row. I hate back row. And for the one-ofs, 1 Fright for Factory and 1 Regeki. Regeki is a Regeki. It clears field so Wolf can just OTK. And Factory, I just barely put this in. I used to run Fright for Fusion at 3. But I put Fright for Factory in because a lot of the times I'll find myself with stuff in hand but not in grave. And I'll have a lot of fusion cards in grave, so I can just banish those and use them from the materials I have on field or in hand. And that's it for the spell cards. And then the only trap cards I run are 3 Fright for March. A lot of people don't run this card. A lot of people run Fusion Reserve. But I feel that the deck is so searchable as it is right now. You don't need the Fusion Reserve because you can recycle Poly anyways, and you can just search out anything you want half the time as well. So I like this card because it negates shit that would hurt your monster. So like if they would bottomless, you can chain Fright for March, negate and destroy that, and then you can say you summoned Fright for Tiger. You can destroy the Fright for Tiger to summon a Sabertooth, and the Sabertooth will summon the Tiger right back onto the field. So it just combos really well, and I really like it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it at that. For extra deck, 3 Tiger. It's Dark Hole without being a Dark Hole, because you can destroy all of your opponent's cards, but you can also destroy some of your cards if you want or need to. 2 Wolf, Hope OTKs. I mean, he was one of the first fusion cards for the deck. I don't feel it's really needed to explain. Sheep, really good for the Cosmo matchup, because he'll just special summon himself right back onto the field with 800 more attack, and a lot of the times they don't know how to deal with that. 1 Bear. I don't know how I feel about Bear. I've never really gone into him. I always say I'm going to just for the lulz, but I've never really found myself going into him. And since I don't run Fusion Conscription or Fusion Reserve, I might take this out for another Xyz, or maybe even another Wolf. I'm not 100% sure yet. But yeah, that's a Bear. 1 Leo. I hardly go into this card, but whenever I do, it does help me out a lot, because you can target one of your opponent's monsters, destroy it, and then they take damage equal to that monster's original attack. And that just helps with OTKs a lot. Although he cannot attack the turn that he activates that effect, a lot of the times you're going to have your Wolf on the field to take care of that anyways. Then I run 2 Sabertooth, bring stuff back from the grave. If he has 3 more materials used on him, he can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So it's just a really good card. I feel it's one of the best support that's come out, aside from Tiger. Like, I feel that Tiger and this card are the 2 best support cards to come out after Cross Souls. Then I run 1 Chimera. Never go into this. I do not know why I run it. Its fusion cost is just so high. Like, its effect is decent. It's, when it destroys an opponent's monster, it turns into a Goyo. And it takes that monster, it halves that monster's attack, but this card, I do believe, gains 800 attack for it. No, this card gains 300 attack for every monster controlled by the opponent. So it's kind of like a mix between a Goyo and a Fright for Bear. I don't really know why I run it. I've been thinking about taking it out, but I'm still not 100% sure on that. Then for the Xyz, 1 Ragnar Zero. This is going to be an Emerald. 1 Castell. 1 Nightmare Shark. I'm going to take out the Ragnar Zero for an Emerald because late game, a lot of the times, I will have a chance to go into a rank 4, but I won't have plays past that because all my stuff is in the grave. So a lot of the times, especially when I was testing this build out on DN, I would go into the Emerald, I'd shuffle back in like a tiger, a poly, and a wolf, and then I'd draw into the or not a wolf, a doge, a tiger, a doge, and a poly, and I'd draw into the doge, and it just furthered my plays a lot more. So I'm gonna switch this out for the Emerald. I'm gonna keep these two here. Nightmare Shark pushes for game a lot because of the fact that he can swing 2k directly by just attaching a material. And then Castell, it's a Castell. I don't really feel there's much to be explained on that. But other than that, that is my deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below on suggestions for other builds or anything you have to help me with my build. Alright, Epic Joke is out.